all know the Q Beats Frank Duke's secrets by now, but where are all the new techniques for making samples? Well, I found the most insane sample maker, and he's going to show you 3 tricks that are going to take your samples to the next level.
My name is London Rain. Thank you for joining me in my studio. Before we get into some of my production tips, let's listen to the sample that we're working with. I know this might not be the type of music that you're creating, but I'll show you 3 things that I think are applicable to a wide variety of genres, so let's get into it. I've been using this really cool technique for a while to make virtual instruments sound more realistic, unique, and organic. So I'm basically recording my speakers to capture the natural room reverb of my space. And here's how I do it. First, I play in the MIDI for whatever instrument I want to record. After that, I place my microphone to the left of my speakers first, then to the right and in the center, and record my audio. Be careful though, you have to turn off input monitoring on your interface, or else you'll get a feedback loop between your microphone and your speakers. In my DAW, I leave the center recording in the middle and pan the side recordings hard left and hard right, and treat them with a basic EQ which cuts the lows and boosts the highs to make everything sound wider. Of course, now you have the basic concept and can start experimenting with things like mixing the ambience recordings with the raw virtual instrument, different distances between the mic and the speakers, or just using it on random VSTs. When I hear samples, oftentimes it's very obvious that they're made out of multiple blocks consisting of 4 to 8 bars, which really hinders the flow of the composition as there's nothing that really connects the individual parts. Let's listen to how I transition from one section to the next and especially focus on what the piano is doing. As you could hear, the piano doesn't just start on a 1, but has this little walk up consisting of 2 notes, which really helps intertwine the 2 separate parts. It definitely helps it flow a little more realistically and makes it feel less robotic. Giving certain instruments this little introduction before the start of the next 4 bars will make your music feel more organic and whole rather than just separate parts put together. So I highly recommend escaping the prison of the grid lines in your DAW. A lot of the times while composing, producers try to come up with a bunch of different melodies, which results in nothing really sticking out because there are too many hooks. I always try coming up with one strong melody and then experimenting with different instruments playing that melody. And here's what that sounds like in my sample. I start by playing my main melody with the piano, followed by a plucky synth with the same melody. And the same thing again, but with my voice. Utilizing multiple instruments instead of multiple melodies will make your compositions more cohesive. It will establish the main hook in the listener's ears while keeping them entertained but not confused at the same time. That's all I have for the day. I really hope that this was helpful. Appreciate you having me, bro. Love.
If you guys want to check out the full sample breakdown, it's on London's channel. I'm going to leave a link in the description. But now it's my turn. I want to see if London's tricks can really take your samples to another level. I'm going to use this free contact bank. It's called Claustrophobic Piano from Piano Book. I'm just going to mess around on the keyboard and try and figure something out. Straight away, I want to use London's first trick to make this sound a bit more realistic. Now, I actually don't have speakers, but we're going to do it a different way. So I'm going to bounce this out to audio, and I'm going to email it to myself, and I'm going to play it from my phone into the mic, and then add that back on top. After getting the initial idea down, I added a synth pluck using the exact same melody. The sound London used was very tight and short, so we're going to change the out knob to make it a bit shorter. I then added a bass underneath before moving on to some vocal accents. I want to take this last note over here though and reverse it. Oh, that sounds nice because it pitched it down as well. Then I did some panning, added an EQ and an automated delay to it before moving on to some more automated processing on the piano. So I'm adding a cassette. I'm going to go to the crushed preset. You can hear the sound on that, but we don't want that the whole time, just little parts here and there. Next is the switch up. The transition isn't so smooth, so what we need to do is take another one of London's tricks. We need to bring in the Rhodes in the first section so you're not caught off by this sudden change. Oh, that's a nice melody. Now I've got the chords, I'm going to record in some vocals. After recording, I processed the vocals and moved on to flipping them even more. Let's bring the sample rate down to like 2000, reverse it, and I want to pitch it up an octave as well. Drown it all in some reverb. And finally add a shaper box, just want to kind of sidechain it. Let's quickly add a texture from Synth Diaries. This one sounds fire. After that, I added in a couple of string layers before adding another bass in the intro and some guitar. After adding in the guitar, I did some simple processing with amps, compressors and EQs before using London's recycling method again to add a flute. And this is the final sample.